we're back. It's episode 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't miss a week this week.
Nope.
That's amazing. Yeah. All right, summertime. It's another glorious long weekend, and we are going to have a spectacular meal tonight. That's what's planned anyway. So, Mateo, why don't you give us a rundown of what's on the menu, and then we can go through the...
Okay, so I'm excited for dinner tonight, and what we're going to prepare is grilled T-bone steaks, roasted potatoes, roasted asparagus, and Dad's Caprese salad.
Nice. All right. Well, we have lots of work that we have to do. Let's go through our ingredients, and we got to get started.
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So, the star of tonight's dinner, T-bone steak. These are gorgeous. We have one that is like 1.5 inches thick. That is going to grill just perfectly. We have a few smaller ones. This is what we're having for dinner tonight. We're just going to season it very, very simply with some Montreal smoked spice. It's what I love to put on grilled meats. You can season it with salt and pepper and whatever else you like. We're going Montreal steak spice tonight. Mateo, over to you, and maybe on this side of the table, and what we got here.
Okay, so for our roasted potatoes, we got a 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and then 1 teaspoon of salt. And we got about a few sprigs of rosemary and thyme in our little bowl. And now for our asparagus, we're going to be roasting in the oven, drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil, salt, pepper, and then we got some Parmesan cheese that's just going to be on top. Dad, over to you with the Caprese salad.
Caprese salad. Caprese salad can be done so many different ways. The way I like to make it, I've got some really, really funky looking heirloom tomatoes. You can use Roma tomatoes, you can use hothouse tomatoes. We've got heirloom tomatoes. I've got a couple of really nice balls of bocconcini that we're gonna slice up. I've got a really nice half of a sweet onion. I've got a couple of peppers, a yellow one, a red one. We're gonna kind of slice all that up together, make a little bit of a slaw. That's gonna be served alongside the tomatoes and the bocconcini. We have some really nice fresh basil, and we're gonna slice this really, really thin, and that's gonna go really nice with the caprese. And then I've got a balsamic glaze here. It's super, super thick. That's gonna be drizzled over along with some olive oil. And yeah, so lots and lots of work ahead of us here. We're gonna have lots of fun here. Yep. I'm looking forward to dinner. I don't know about you. So let's get started.
Let's do it.
All right, so our first step is we're gonna get our beautiful T-bone steak seasoned. I've got my Montreal smoked, but I'm just going to sprinkle that. We're gonna sprinkle a little bit of the spice on both sides. Very flavorful. They've got lots of different types of spices in this blend. We just absolutely love, grilling meat using this spice. So that's about enough for the first side. And very quickly, just gonna pat that down. All right, and these are gonna hit the grill relatively soon, like I said. We gotta get our potatoes in the oven, Mateo, because they need about 45 minutes to an hour. So I think now that these steaks, they look delicious. They are seasoned, very well seasoned, and ready for the grill. It's time for our potatoes.
Okay, so we got 3 Yukon Gold potatoes that have just been cut up, and they've been soaking in some water for a little bit. So now we're just gonna get on to seasoning our potatoes. So we got all of our spices. Pop them all in there to the side, and we got our little blend of rosemary and thyme. Put that in just like before, and we're gonna give it a nice toss. Just mix it all together. Get all the flavors nice and combined. Because these are gonna need about just like my dad said, around maybe 45 minutes to an hour to get nice and roasted. And yeah, this is almost ready for the oil. Ready for the oil. Okay. One of the things I like to do with the potatoes when we're roasting them is we can put oil in now, like cold oil. I like to actually heat the oil first. I find that it really makes the potatoes nice and crispy. So Mateo, I think those are really, really well seasoned. So I have the hot oil here now, and I'm just gonna pour this right over. It's gonna give it a nice sizzle. Oh yeah, that's exactly what we want. So just gonna put all that over there. All right, so I'm gonna throw those in the oven. They're gonna go in for about 45 minutes, like we said. All right, now on to our next step. Okay, so now it's time for our asparagus. I'm just gonna go with a little drizzle of olive oil. We got our salt and pepper, again, just a little bit of that. And we got some Parmesan cheese from before, just a little sprinkle. And just toss it all together. Just get everything nice and combined. All right, so we have our potatoes in the oven. They need some time. We've got our asparagus, that's all seasoned.
So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to get ahead here. We're gonna get our caprese salad. We've got all of our ingredients here. We do have to do some chopping and actually get them onto a beautiful platter. So I think before we actually hit the barbecue, hit the hot grill with our steaks, we're gonna do our caprese salad. So what I'm gonna do first, again, there's different ways to do this. I've got our peppers and our onions here. So I'm just gonna go very, very thinly, as thinly as I can. I'm just gonna chop up all of my peppers here. So our yellow pepper and our red pepper. And we're also gonna slice our onion as well. And all of that is going to form a little bit of a slaw together. And that's gonna go really, really nice with our tomatoes and our cheese. So we're just mixing all of these together here. We just wanna blend them. We're gonna season them afterwards, but this is gonna just sit in the center of the platter. So I've got my platter here. We're gonna sit that right in the center. I'm gonna surround these peppers and onions with our tomatoes. So now on to our tomatoes. We have some really, really beautiful, different colors, different shapes. Heirloom tomatoes are really, really great. So we're just gonna slice these. I'm just gonna slice the bottom, and they're not gonna be very thin slices, so we'll just cut them about 1/4 inch. I think this guy here will get about 3. All right, so we got our tomatoes sliced. They're ready to be plated. Next, I'm going to take this beautiful, beautiful basil and we're gonna chiffonade. So chiffonade is really just cutting things in very thin strips. So because the basil, usually they're just beautiful, broad type leaves. The way that I like to do this is you grab, you just stack the leaves together like this. Once you stack a few, then you can roll them and just very, very thinly slice. And what happens is as you do that, when you slice through them, you end up with these really, really nice, thinly sliced strips of basil. So that's all we really want. All right, so now on to slicing our bocconcini. All right, so we have our nice bocconcini balls, just fresh mozzarella. That's all it really is. We're just gonna cut these into thin slices. And why we're doing them in thin slices is we're going to actually alternate them on our platter with our wonderful heirloom tomatoes. So that's how we're going to do it. Again, there's so many different ways that you can assemble, but we're gonna do it this way. We are just about ready to plate and get this salad all ready to go. All right, amazing. We've got all of our ingredients here. Now it's time just to assemble this together. We're not gonna fully season it. We're gonna do that just before we eat. But again, this is a really great way just to get ahead so that by the time the steaks are ready and they've rested, our salad is ready just for seasoning. So what we're gonna do, just assemble here. So really all I do is I start with one of the tomatoes and we just alternate with a piece of the bocconcini. And we're gonna change up the color here as we go along our platter. But again, we'll alternate one piece of tomato with one piece of bocconcini. So there we have it. That's really how we're gonna serve our caprese salad. Now we are going to put some olive oil, some salt and pepper, and some balsamic afterwards, but I am going to just, with my chiffonade of basil, I'm just gonna sprinkle that. We're gonna use all of that and we'll just put it all around the platter. And we're going to put this into the fridge so it stays nice and cool. And right before we're ready to have our dinner, we are gonna season this and serve it.
Okay, so we're at the grill. We're gonna put on our biggest one first. We're gonna go 7 to 8 minutes on each side. And our goal for these types of steaks, we're gonna try to go for medium to medium rare. So let's just get started. Start my grill. And we're just gonna put this bad boy right on the hottest piece. You like that sizzle? It's a nice sizzle. We're just gonna close it up. Let it cook for a little bit and we'll be back soon. Okay, so what I like to do before I flip the steaks, we actually turn them just to give them some nice grill marks. So we actually got a nice flame on it. And we're just gonna give it a nice side turn. And same with our other one. There we go. We'll be back soon. Okay, so now it's time to flip our steaks. With the biggest one, look at those beautiful grill marks. Same with this piece. Flip that one. this piece, we can go for another flip, and same with this one. Okay, stay tuned.
All right, so our potatoes, they've been in for about 45 minutes. They're ready to come out. Oh, they're beautiful. Look at that. They are nice and golden brown, and I think that heating up that oil beforehand really, really helped us. So what we're gonna do is we're not quite ready to serve yet. I've got a little bit of that Parmesan cheese. I'm just gonna sprinkle some of this on top. Just like that, just a little. And we're just gonna leave that here. We're gonna keep them nice and warm, and we're gonna serve those when the steaks are ready. So now, now that we are ready for our asparagus, you know, we're almost ready for plating. So I'm just gonna grab our asparagus. We're gonna hit that into this hot oven, 450 degrees. This will be about 10 minutes, like Matteo said. He seasoned those really nicely. And this is all coming together really nice.
Okay, so our steak's around 130 now, but just around medium rare. So now let's just pull it off. Perfect.
So I think we're gonna let that rest, Matteo, for a few minutes before we slice into it.
I think so.
All right, we're about ready to season our salad and get this out of the way. So I'm just gonna salt a little bit on top, just like that. Sprinkle it all over. We'll do a little bit of black pepper. And this is a really, really very simply seasoned salad because there's so much just nice natural flavor, the creaminess of the cheese, the really wonderful flavor of the heirloom tomatoes, with a little bit of just extra virgin olive oil, and we're just gonna, again, drizzle all the way around the sides, in the center with our peppers, and that's about it. And then I've got this really, really thick and nicely concentrated balsamic glaze. I've just taken some balsamic vinegar and just reduced it into a pan. So I'm just gonna just drizzle this all the way. This is a ton of flavor. We don't need too much. I think we'll give it just a little bit more. There we go, that's it. All right, this is ready for the table. And that's gonna be tasty.
Okay, time to carve the steak. Let's have some fun.
All right, that was a lot of fun.
It was.
And we're done. Okay, what do you think?
Looks awesome so far.
Looks good. So we have our really nice caprese salad. That's ready to go. And then what I decided to do is after I carved up that T-bone steak and gave it some salt, a la Salt Bay, just everything on a beautiful board, right? So we're gonna eat outside. So we have our steak, it's all sliced here. We have our roasted potatoes, they came out just beautifully. Our roasted asparagus. Matteo, what do you think? That looks pretty good.
Looks awesome.
I think we did good.
I think so.
What's our next step?
Plating and tasting.
Plating and tasting. So our plating is here. We're just gonna pull a little bit off just for us to taste. What do you say? Okay, so let's do that, okay? So let's just start with a little bit. We're gonna take just one of these tomatoes here, and we'll just put that in the center like that. Okay, we're gonna pull a little bit of these onions and these peppers, and we'll just sit these just on the side like so. All right. Okay, and we'll grab a few of our, just a few potatoes here. We'll just put them on the side of the plate, just like that. We're gonna pull off one of our sprigs of asparagus, and we'll just sit there like that. And we'll just grab a couple pieces of steak. What do you say, Matteo?
Let's do it.
We'll just set those in there like that. All right, and there we have it. This plate is ready for us to taste test. And then we're outside to enjoy this wonderful, wonderful meal. So let's dig in. So let me cut you a piece of steak here. So So you can have that and grab some potatoes. I'm gonna grab a little piece of steak myself. I'm gonna cut into this. Yeah, do you want some of this tomato as well?
For sure.
Here you go, man. All right, you take that. I'm gonna take this little corner here. All right, all together. That's really tasty. What do you think?
Nice and flavorful and delicious.
You cooked that steak absolutely perfect. That is so good. Try those potatoes. Those are tasty. Those are tasty. Well, episode 9. That's a wrap. Great job, man.
Thanks, everybody.
Enjoy the rest of the long weekend, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed. Give this a shot. This is a great summer meal. Take care and see you next time.